A very good evening to all our respected panelists, Rotarians, Rotractors, and all of you viewing from home. I will be the moderator for today. My name is Hani Rahim, and welcome to the first panel discussion on Safe Space 2021, a project organized by the Rotaract Club of Colombo East. Before we kick off everything, I would like to welcome our respected panelists for today's evening. First and foremost, the president of the Rotary Club of Colombo East, Rotarian Paul Harris Fellow Asela Samara Peruma, the president nominee and the current vice president of the Rotaract Club of Colombo East, Rotaract PN Ayodhya Heenatigala, the assistant secretary of the Rotaract Club of Colombo East, Rotaract Dilmir De Silva, the sergeant at arms and the chairman on the advisory panel of constitutional affairs of the Rotaract Club of Colombo East, Rotaract Asel Arya Peruma, the Green Life Director and a member of the Advisory Panel on Constitutional Affairs, Rotaract Suleka Karannagude, and the Club Service Director-elect of the Rotaract Club of Colombo East, Rotaract Oluni Anthony. Before we start, I'd like to mention the first words of the caption that read for this project. We are all the same inside. That being said, I'd like to kick off today's proceedings by saying that Project SafeSpace is a project that is kept very close to Rotaract PN Ayodhya Heenatigala's heart, and it's a project that will change a lot of perspective, and it will also open avenues to each and every single individual watching this program here today. Without further ado, I'd like to kick off today's proceedings with the first question, which I'd like to ask from each and every one of our panelists. What does it mean to be a part of the Rotaract Club of Colombo East? It would be great if all of you could share your personal experiences on this club. Firstly, I'd like to invite our Rotary President, Rotarian Paul Harris Fellow Asela Samara Peruma, to start today's proceedings by answering the question first. Rotarian Asela, over to you.
Sorry, you have to repeat the question. I was having some technical difficulties, Hani.
No worries, Asela. The first question is, what does it mean to be a part of the Rotaract Club of Colombo East? I understand that you aren't a particular part of it, but however, what is your experience as being a patron, as a guide, a part of guidance towards this club? It would be great if you could share your experience.
Yeah, so I was not fortunate enough to be within Rotaract Club of Colombo East, so I will share my thoughts as the sponsoring club president, and for the brief moment period that I have known Rotaract Colombo East while I was in Rotary. Firstly, I think Rotaract Colombo is a very unique club that and you have a very invitation-only policy that you try to recruit the cream of the crop when it comes to Rotaract. And I can see why, because when I have come to your meetings and all that, and all the togetherness you have is very good, and you're doing projects that is meaningful, and you're taking initiatives that is quite meaningful, and you're taking the lead in things that you should take lead on. So I think all in all, it has been a pleasant experience in terms of while enjoying your company, while in your social gathering, as well as being the sponsor Rotary Club president. I have a very pleasant experience with you. So you should keep it going. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Asela. Next, I'd like to move on to our president nominee, Rotaract Ayodhya. If you could share your experiences of being a part of this club, especially you being the president nominee in the upcoming year.
Thank you, Hani. So basically, to be a part of this club, I think my journey in this club began in 2016, along with Fabian, Dylan, Pramod, and all of them. So what I see the culture of this club is like our Rotarian Asela said, this club is basically, you can only join the club only through invite. Not every person can join. So along with my personal experiences with this club, I think as a club, we always stand together. In simple terms, I would actually say we are one family. So I think that's the answer I would give Hani. So yeah.
Thank you, Ayodhya. Next, I'd like to move on to Rotaract Dilmini, who is the Assistant Secretary of the Rotaract Club of Colombo East.
So I'd like to first of all start off by saying that I feel very grateful to be part of this club, because I feel like everyone that I have had to work with so far, they've been able to identify my skills and abilities in a way that even I haven't yet identified that I am capable of doing such a thing. But especially Fabian and the EXCO, what they believe that I can do has really helped me to be better, and to sort of, this club has helped me to harness my potential and to do better and be better.
Thank you, Rotaract Dilmini. Indeed, the Rotary movement and Rotaract has always been a platform where individuals have been able to blossom into the best versions of themselves. Moving on, Rotaract Asel Arya Peruma, the Sergeant at Arms of the club.
Thank you, Hani. Good evening, everyone. So, if I have to say about that, so since I've been involved with the Rotary movement for quite a lot of time, long time, since 2010 during school, and I also have been witnessing some of the clubs in Rotaract as well. So what I love about Rotaract Club of Colombo East is, so not during my school we have seen competition and also service, but the most important thing about Rotaract Club of Colombo East is it's all about service, and it's all about the club. It's not competition. We never had competition. We don't compete with anyone. It's all about service within our heart. Even right now, what you all are doing, it's all about the service. So that's what I love most about this club. So it's everyone is there for each and everyone in terms of whatever that's happening to them. So that's what we are looking forward from our members. So I believe that's the most important thing that I have seen here.
Thank you, Asel. Moving on to Rotaract Sulekha Karanagore. If you could share your opinion
Hi.
to us.
Yeah, so I have only been a member of this club since 2020. So from my very short, from the very short time that I've been a member of this club, from my personal experiences, what I appreciate the most is that I got to meet and work with individuals who would put all of their differences aside to get together and share the same passion to be better and be better. So that's what I appreciate the most from being a member of the club.
Thank you, Sulekha. Next, I'd like to invite the incoming club service directress, my apologies, Rotaractor Oluni Anthony, to please speak on your experiences of being a Rotaractor of the Rotaract Club of Colombo East.
Yes, honey, thank you. I'm sorry, excuse the background noises. I have also been a part of this club only since March last year. So I wouldn't imagine me being the club service directress this year if it wasn't any other club. So like Dilmini said, the specialty of this club is they recognize potential even before you see it in yourself, and they give you the place where you can project it the best and work for the club the most. So in terms of equality and in terms of accepting people and in terms of giving people the position that they deserve,
it doesn't matter what kind of experience they have. If they are good at something, they deserve that and they get that. That's one of the best things I've noticed in Rotaract Club of East so far.
Amazing answer, Oluni. And I think this first question was incorporated by the Safe Space Committee as a marketing scheme to get more Rotaractors to the Rotaract Club of Colombo East, I'm assuming. So great job on that, first of all. And moving on, I'd like to, as a Rotaractor Oluni said, this club is a club that promotes equality and it promotes the understanding of cultures and creeds, which is mentioned in all of the invocations, interact, Rotaract, or Rotary. That being said, I'd like to move on to questioning the next individual who is the president nominee as well as the chairperson of the project. The next handful of questions are for you, Ayodhya. I hope you're ready to answer all of them that come your way. First and foremost, as a chairperson, can you tell us what Project Safe Space is about? How did this initiative begin? Can you take us through that thought process?
Okay. So basically, this project. So this project is basically on creating awareness of discrimination and harassment that people go through day-to-day life at different organizations or social clubs or anything as such. So what we thought as a club, we wanted everyone to be treated equally and for everyone to be given the same, fed from the same spoon, basically. So we thought of coming up with this policy where everybody is accepted and valued for no matter what race, gender, age, their sexual orientation is. So that is exactly why we brought this initiative into this year. And why we named it as Safe Space is because we want every person who is in our club and who is going to join our club to feel safe within our club, and mainly not to be harassed or not to be discriminated at any given time. So I think that explains your question.
Yes, thank you, Ayodhya. So something about this project is it had 4 phases, if I'm not mistaken. Could you elaborate on each and every one of those phases?
I'll just run through it. Just going to grab my paper because it's very lengthy. So that. So firstly, what we started off with is a legal framework. That is to create a legal framework to ensure that the club is open and accessible to all members who are currently in the process of moving into general members, the PM members, and who want to join us. So in terms of the legal framework, I think Asel, Suleka, and Assistant Secretary Puffy would elaborate on that. So the second phase is basically which we are closely keeping it to our members. So basically educating our club members, because this has to come out from our club members in first place. So that is where we thought of conducting an online workshop to create awareness of the project and give an understanding what this project is to our club members. And in that phase itself, we thought of getting one or two very well-known speakers to educate our club members on the club's law on discrimination. So that is where we are going to educate our members on the aspect of safe space. Then moving on to third phase, that is basically a PR campaign mainly. So that is again to create awareness that our club, Rotaract Club of Colombo, is a safe space, and to make it easier for them to realize that, okay, this club is a club that anybody can join. Doesn't matter what culture, what religion, what age, doesn't matter anything. So that is where we are planning to promote Rotary and Rotaract Club of Colombo East among the general public. And then we move on to the fourth phase, that is to promote the concept of safe space, that is to other clubs, to other organizations, because let's say even though we started, not only everybody's just going to come to our club. So what we feel is we should educate the other organizations when it comes to career base, when it comes to other clubs. So basically create awareness that this is an initiative that every organization or every other social club should partially take some time and think about it and initiate this program. So I think those are the four phases. So I think you got a oversight of it. So yeah.
Most definitely. So from what I said at the beginning of this program, as well as from what I've seen from the way you answered Rotaract Ayodhya, I understand that this project is very close to your heart. Could you tell us and people watching from home exactly why that is?
Okay, so this is very close to my heart is because uh, when I came out, legit saying my personal aspect, when I came out, people ask me, okay, you dated guys before, do you swing both ways? I'm like, does that even matter to you? My question. And then those are questions like I felt okay, I'm going to say, okay, that doesn't really matter to you. I can speak up myself, but what I see is when a person who can't speak up to themselves, they go home and what they feel like, okay, why did this person ask this question from me? And what I feel is that everybody should be treated equally. Like I said before, it doesn't matter where you come from, your personal background, who you're going to go to bed with, basically. It doesn't matter to anyone. As long as you are going to do your work or in an organization and just do your part, basically. So I was I was called gay, I was called lesbian, I was called everything, basically. And when I became the president nominee of this club, I have heard people saying, okay, so it's going to be a gay club. I mean, just because I am the president nominee does not mean a club is going to be a gay club. So what I see is that when people throw stones at you, that could be used for something positive. I think that is where this project was based on and initiated. So I'm very thankful for all of these people who threw stones at us, saying all of this, and here we are as a club, much more better in this whole environment. So yeah, that.
Wonderful answer, Rotaract Ayodhya. I think everyone here present here today who mentioned that the Rotaract Club of Colombo East is a family shows just how much we support equal opportunities and just how much we support one another going forward. Wonderful answer once again. I believe that was able to inspire many individuals who are watching from home today. The next handful of questions go out to Asail, Dilmini, and Suleka, who were on board with the advisory panel of Constitutional Affairs, if I'm not mistaken. So the first question is, how has this safe space policy been incorporated to the bylaws? And why do you think it was necessary to be incorporated to the bylaws? Could we start off with Rotaract Asil?
I will answer that question.
Yeah, sure.
The request to include this clause was initially made by the outgoing and incoming boards of directors, as well as the Safe Space Project Committee, to the advisory panel on constitutional affairs. And we included this policy into our bylaws by including a clause against discrimination and harassment, which is incorporated under Clause 8 of the bylaws. So this clause essentially means that our club will not be tolerating any sort of discrimination or harassment against any members or any individuals on the basis of their race, religion, cultural background, language, disability, or sexual orientation. And what I think is special about this clause is that this clause does not only apply to the existing members of the club, it applies to the future members, as well as it extends to the wider Rotary fraternity and guests who might attend our Rotaract events. And according to this clause, if an individual is has suffered an alleged harassment or discrimination, he or she is able to initiate an independent inquiry by the disciplinary commission against this particular individual. And based on the outcome of that inquiry, there will be penalties which such individuals will be subjected. And to talk about why we thought that including this clause was important, as I mentioned, many of our youth face various challenges as a result of being labeled as different or unnatural or not normal, just because of how they identify themselves or where they come from or what religion they believe in. And our intention and behind the safe space policy is to create basically a safe space where youth from different backgrounds can join our community and feel and be treated as people rather than a Sinhalese person, a Tamil person, a lesbian, or a transgender. And especially, I must say that the protection that most organizations and even the laws of our country have towards the LGBT community is very limited. So we wanted to take the initiative to make sure that this was a safe space for that community as well.
Thank you, Dr. Sulekha. I think something that is very commendable about the inclusion of it into the bylaws is the fact that always written proof and a written policy is always something that is needed when going forward in our current situation. So that I think if this was a physical event, a round of applause definitely is due to the advisory panel on constitutional affairs for the fact of including it into the bylaws for the coming years. The next question is, what were some of the insights or deliberations that the advisory panel on constitutional affairs faced while drafting this particular bylaw?
So I feel like the main contention that we had when we wanted to incorporate this clause was regarding the threshold. And so in our clause, we have stated that an accused will be penalized only if the disciplinary committee finds that a comment or a statement was made with malicious intent or it was a truly held belief. So the penal sanction against such a thing would be either a suspension with minimum of 1 month or a maximum of 1 year, or indefinite or permanent suspension of membership that has to be obtained unanimously from the board of directors and the Rotary advisor. So when we had to decide on this threshold, we didn't incorporate any comments or statements that were made in jest as a ground for penalty. And one of the main reasons why we didn't incorporate this was because we also wanted to protect a person's right to speech and expression. And well, there was more to this, and there were other deliberations also that we had, but I feel that to sum up, it was basically how we had to decide on the threshold, and then we had to figure out how exactly we would draft the law so that it would be fair to all. Thank you.
to all the viewers at home and to all the viewers from the Rotaract Club of Colombo East. I hope all of you who didn't read the emails thoroughly understood what exactly the new constitutional bylaws entail. And also, I hope that all of you will take note of everything that was said today. That being said, I'd like to move on to the next question from our next panelist, who is Rotaractor Olu. Olu, as the incoming Club Services Directress for the years 2021-2022, how does the incorporation of the SafeSpace policy affect the membership of the club?
So when it comes to SafeSpace, as Dilmini said, you are going to be penalized if you discriminate someone else. So the information we want to give is not that you're going to be penalized. It's that it's a space where you can stand up for yourself. So as much as you're going to, like, you have the right to come and tell you have the right to come and make a complaint when you feel discriminated, when you feel uncomfortable. I think that's what lacks in so many societies and other clubs, because as soon as we started posting these Pride Month posters, so many people reached out to me. Even these people are in like really good standings in their clubs also. They are leading projects. Some of them were like Rotaractors of the month, but they were still asking, what is this? They want to know what's the foundation behind this, because they want to make sure that they don't want to keep jumping from club to club and find a place where they feel safe. So they asked me a couple of questions, and I told them that we are trying to the base of the project. But they only felt confident after I told them that we are incorporating the legal side to it. So that's how bad the situation is. So if I mean, people can have opinions. I can decide that I like tap water, and Sulaka can just say she doesn't like tap water. But having an opinion is not the same thing when it attacks someone's fundamentals and what makes them who they are. So as a club, we are drawing the line, and we are deciding on an opinion which is discrimination is bad. So which is one step further that we are taking in order to make sure all our members feel like they can open up, feel like they can live up to their full potential, feel like they don't have to, always take a step back because they don't identify as the way how everyone identifies, how everyone thinks is normal. So I think that's how it affects the membership. I want the incoming members, and I want the members who are coming, who are waiting to come, and the members that are still here understand that with this step we are taking, we are drastically changing the situation where we don't tolerate discrimination.
Amazing answer, Olu. Thank you for your input. As stated in I'm familiar with this phrase because it's in the interact invocation. It says uh, the differences of cultures and creeds should not matter. And I think your answer really embodied that particular phrase in that invocation. So thank you once again. Now I'd like to go right back to Rotaract Ayodhya. So as the president-elect, so my apologies, nominee for the years 2022-2023, how do you think this policy will affect the future of the club?
So as Olu said, I think as the club service directress, the elect, I think she herself, she sees a bit far away. So what I feel is like the potential of club membership, the growth of it will increase drastically, because I think we'll be having members who would be coming, like Olu said, from other clubs, because they feel that this club is safe, and we do not tolerate any discrimination. And again, along with that, we will be having increased diversity, so which we would actually, as a club, for example, let's say we get a member to our club, and then they go through the whole process, and then they're a general member, and they come up with some problem. But as a club, I think, like I said before, our club is a family. Rotaract Club of Colombo East is a family. So I'm pretty sure, like we always say, service above self. We can help people through that. We can, when they bring their issues, we can see how we can help them. And what matters is the help that we give out to them, and to make sure that they feel safe within our club. So I think that is where I want, as a president, in my I want everybody to make sure that no one is being discriminated. I don't think I'm going to tolerate it anyways. So so yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Thank you, PN Ayodhya. Next, I'd like to move on to our very own Rotarian Asela Samarapirima. Asela, as the Rotary President, what are your honest thoughts on the safe space policy? And could you give us an understanding of why you and the Rotary Club of Colombo East, of course, decided to support this revolutionary move?
Okay, so in my personal opinion, I think safe space policy is a natural extension against discrimination of age, race, sex, or disability or caste. So this is something that you're building on top of the fight against discrimination, and what the Rotaract Colombo have done is incorporated that notion into the bylaws or laws or the general day-to-day administration of the club itself. When I first heard about this, I think we heard it from Ayo, Dylan, and Fabian when we were probably enjoying camaraderie, I would say. I would use a lesser word. So when we were having that discussion, I think what I thought was this was a very good opportunity for us as a Rotary Club also maybe to make a stand, because of course, as you probably know, that Ayo, Dylan, and Fabian, they are also in the Rotary Club of Colombo East, and they will be eventually in the next year be just give me a minute.
Do you want tea?
No. Sorry. Kids come first, whatever happens. So when they are moving on to the board of directors within Rotary, I think this is something that they can probably bring to Rotary itself. So, and of course, from a Rotary Colombo East point of view, everybody was very supportive for this movement and the initiative, and they gave their blessings. And I did not hear anybody saying that they probably, some may not know what it is, to be honest. Probably that's up to Ayo to, when she comes to the next Rotary meeting, to maybe give a kind of a discussion, and maybe you can give us some kind of explanation to the Rotary members who might not know what this is. But apart from that, most everybody, the director board as well as the general members, were very positive towards it. So we decided to support this. So I think good.
In the words of the Rotary theme for the years 2020-2021, Rotary opens opportunities, and subsequently next year it will be served to change lives. And in the same way, I think the safe space policy truly symbolizes the fact of Rotary opens opportunities, and next year it will be serving to change lives. So I'd like to extend a big thank you to the Rotary Club of Colombo East to be, I think, one of the, of course, us being one of the first youth movements to incorporate a safe space policy. It's very comforting to know that our seniors and the sponsoring Rotary Club, who helps us every step of the way, is 100% supportive of our activities as well as the safe space policy. Once again, I'd like to move on to the questions on the advisory panel on constitutional affairs. So this goes out to Asail, Dilmini, and Sulekha once again. We have heard how these laws are going to be incorporated and how they are going to affect the future of Colombo East. As legislators, is this what you envisioned for our club?
Well, in terms of that, yes. So, see, there's a saying that all humans are born equal. So when we were given this, when we were forwarded this resolution by the board of directors, what we actually thought about this is, see, it's what matters is the human within you, the humanly thing that is within you. So thinking about that, so we actually move forward with all the aspects where the discrimination that can happen, that what is happening in Sri Lanka right now, um, in terms of everything. So likewise, how I second what actually Rotaract Sulekha Karanagoda actually mentioned, what is happening in SL, and what needs to be, there needs to be a proper mechanism in terms of addressing this. So, like how Rotaka Olu mentioned, we actually came up with this mechanism where the person who is affected by this can come and complain, even if he is a member. He or she or whoever he is a member. So, in terms of that, where the complaining itself, not just there, from the beginning itself, well, when we are recruiting our members to our club, from that point onwards, we have avoided, we have disregarded these disparities. So it's the discrimination is not tolerated from that point onwards. So after that, when you are inclusive club, we want them to be, we want them to feel comfortable. We want them to open up, and we want them to achieve and grow to great heights and work among the people in order to serve this country, serve this movement with all the members. We want them to do that, like how everyone is doing. Respect of disregard of where he is a disabled person, disregard of his sex, religion, caste, or their race, or their nationality. So, in terms of these, we want them to feel as one, and we wanted them to we in future also we want them to uh, take the club to greater heights. We want them to manifest humanly beliefs among his members and the members of the Rotary movement.
Ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the advisory panel on constitutional affairs, spoken like a true sergeant at arms, something that is very overlooked, I would say, amongst clubs in general. Is a sergeant at arms is supposed to be an individual who looks into the discipline, but that does not mean that that is an individual who only looks into how you're dressed, how you speak, and all of that. An individual who looks into the discrimination, now that's a true sergeant at arms. Moving on, next question. Next question would be: policies have a way of taking on a life of their own. What do you envision as being the future of this policy in the long run?
Um, well, basically we want people to join our club, disregard of what they are, whatever the disparity or whatever that they are being discriminated in the society, but we don't care about that. We actually, well, we welcome them to our club. We want them to feel, yes, you have one place in this country, in this world, where you are, as in, you are being recognized, you are given the same equal right as other individuals. So this club will be that place, and we want them to join. That is one of the one of those reasons. And also within our club, we always want to our members, our committee members, and our board of directors, and everyone, and whoever who maintains transactions, relationships with our club, and also external parties who are out from the Rotary movement as well, who are maintaining relationships with our club in terms of projects and everything types of that is related to this, them to feel comfortable. We want our club members also to not to feel uh, not to just regard about what is there in the country, but to feel what is right to themselves, and in order to work with them and strive for better service within with all of them in the Rotary movement. So it's not just a recognition to the club. We want other clubs to also take this as an example and promote this cause, and also to help the Rotary movement to come to a better place with these sorts.
Well said, Asil. Truly, the Rotaract Club of Colombo East has been setting an example for all the juniors. I would know, being one of them. But now it's nice to know that it's become a club that is set on being an example to the entire Rotaract movement. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to our final question, which is for none other than our very own Rotaractor IO and Rotarian Asela. Before I move on to this question, I'd like to give a big shout out to the Safe Space committee for coming up with these innovative questions and tackling each and every single avenue that had to be tackled during this particular program. So the final question is, how can we encourage other clubs and organizations to create a safe space in their own organizations? How do you think they can incorporate this policy in their relevant organizations? Over to you.
You want to go ahead first, or shall I go ahead?
You can go ahead. You're the Rotarian now, so you can go ahead.
Okay. So I think probably the word of mouth that you have gone ahead and embarked on this would encourage other clubs to do the same. But saying that, I think probably you have the bandwidth and you have the knowledge to educate a little bit more towards the district as well as the clubs itself. Perhaps I think you need to spread your message a little bit further than Rotaract itself. And since now your members are joining Rotary Colombo East, I think probably the next best step is to do the same what you did in Rotaract Colombo East is to do the same with Rotary Colombo East. And also you have the other Rotary Colombo East family, in the sense the Rotaract clubs that belongs to the same that we manage technically. So you can probably extend your support in order to change the bylaws and with their interest to go ahead and embark on the same journey. So as Rotary Colombo East, we are happy to help in any shape or form that you want to do. I think the next incoming president will also have the same how would I say, same vigor to help you guys in this journey. And also what you probably have to do is through Rotary, you can reach the Rotary district itself. It might not be this year or next year or the year after, but if you can push it through the Rotary Club of Colombo East to the district, I think this is something you can achieve throughout the Rotary movement itself. So hope I will be there to witness it.
So yeah, adding on to that, I'm more than thankful for Rotary sponsoring club, parental club. Thank you, Asela. for always being there for us, and for I think Fabian under his presidency for always guiding this project, and our youth services chair Dylan Hendelin. So before moving on to the question, and thanking Sergeant Adams Asel, the chairman of the constitutional aspect of it, and Puffy Dilmini, to you too, and to Sulega. Without you guys, I don't think we could have gone ahead with this project and the initiation and do the legal framework of it. So it would be much more easier for when the people would be joining, the new members, and to put out the word there. So moving on to the question, basically, like Asela said, what I would say is, in the incoming year, yes, we can take it to the Rotary Club of Colombo East and extend it to the family. So that is one way that we can achieve much more through word of mouth and initiate it in their clubs. And when we take the aspect of organizations, like private organizations, if we could incorporate this policy, especially because one thing that I've heard and what I've seen is heard mainly that when people like queer people, if I put in words as queer, they rarely get job opportunities in these organizations. So what we can do is we can educate them and show that this policy could be taken into their organizations, and they could give some sort of help in hand to start off their careers in this organization. It doesn't matter again what their gender is, race is, it really doesn't matter. So if we could start from these minor points of standing as one club, I think as a club we can basically give out so much more into the Rotary movement as well as the private organizations. So I'm hoping that we can give a kickstart on it. I think that is it from my end. Thank you, Hani.
Thank you very much, PN Ayodhya. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our program for today. I'd like to thank, first and foremost, the Rotary Club of Colombo East, as well as Rotarian Paul Harris fellow Asela Samra Perma for his constant guidance throughout this entire activity, throughout this entire project, mind you. And as well as, of course, our very dear Rotarian Rotaractor Fabian Shopman, our Rotary advisor, Rotarian Dylan Hendelin, as well as the president-elect and president nominee, followed by the advisory panel on constitutional affairs. I'd like to thank each and every one of our esteemed panelists here today, as well as our very own Rotaract Club members, the SafeSpace policy, the SafeSpace committee members, as well as all of you, ladies and gentlemen, who are watching from home today. I hope all of you were able to get a certain input from this program. Thank you very much for joining, and keep it in heart that we are all the same inside. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to end on a very happy note by saying the Rotaract Club of Colombo East is proud, and we are proud to be a safe space. Thank you very much, and have a great day.